What's going on, guys? Welcome to Everything Always. My name's Michael Roman. We're just now finding out about an official Avengers Endgame deleted scene between the Ancient One and the Hulk. It was a lot different than what happened in the movie, and we're going to break that down. Unfortunately, it doesn't go a long way in setting up what's going on with the Hulk and why he was a complete no-show. Our levels of disappointment completely valid in that, but there are some things on the horizon that make sense for the Hulk and some really good news about his character going forward into the fourth phase. We're going to break down not only the scene, but what it might mean for the Hulk, where we could see him pop back up, and why he might just redeem himself, not only in the eyes of the fans, but in his overall character arc. It's not done quite yet. But first, if you could grab the subscribe button, we're giving away 2 PlayStation 4 Pros, as well as a whole slew of other Marvel related stuff, including tickets to go see Spider-Man Far From Home once they go on sale. All you have to do, hit the subscribe button, then hit the notification bell, leave a like and a comment on this video, and if you want, stick around to the end of the video. I'll get into all the giveaway stuff again there. So as I said, good news, Hulk is not done quite yet. I know the writers and the directors were on record as saying, hey, we're not allowed to do any more Hulk solo films given the rights are still tied up at Universal, but we're going to seed a new character arc into Infinity War Avengers Endgame starting in Thor Ragnarok, and we definitely saw a conclusion, quote unquote, to that specific arc where Dr. Banner and the Hulk were able to work out a co-entity for Professor Hulk, whatever you want to give the name of this iteration. They never quite call him that, but we're assuming that's what he is. The good news is that there's still one movie left on Mark Ruffalo's contract with Marvel Studios, and although he hasn't been as vocal and as public as, say, Chris Hemsworth in wanting to return to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, I think it's pretty clear for all of these actors, no matter what level they're on, their involvement with the Marvel Cinematic Universe is one of the biggest things that's happened in their career, and except for a few outliers with Academy Awards who have done sort of smaller roles and cameos in these films, for a lot of these actors, even the big ones, having a main role in the Marvel Cinematic Universe or the involvement with the Avengers franchise is the biggest thing in their career. Case in point, Robert Downey Jr., one of the biggest actors on the planet. I bet you can't name the last movie he was in. Okay, go ahead and name one of the last 5 movies he was in, not including an Avengers Endgame film. And if you could only name one of the Sherlock films, then that's only because of how big the Sherlock franchise was before Robert Downey Jr. played the character, only further reinforcing my point that even for the biggest actors, being part of these big franchises is super important, especially a franchise like Avengers Endgame, something that was one of the biggest events in Marvel Cinematic history. It's hard to see a world where Mark Ruffalo has no interest in coming back to reprise his role as the Hulk in a future MCU film. And the good news that I alluded to in the prologue of this video was that there's actually one more movie left on Mark Ruffalo's Marvel Studios contract, meaning he actually has a contractual obligation to come back for at least one film, and cameos don't count, so he can't just pop up and say as Guardians of the Galaxy. We do know that we'll be getting at least one more film where the Hulk will be a main player, and I've seen a couple of lists out there, especially one very visibly and most recently that named the next Avengers film is the most probable place for him to pop up. I listened to the list and the reasons given, and we can run down the slate quickly of all the movies we know we're getting where it doesn't make sense for him to pop up. Movies like The Eternals, Black Widow, even Doctor Strange 2, they don't need a Hulk in those films. But what I think makes a lot more sense than waiting towards the next Avengers film would be to bring Hulk back for Thor 4. Now, we all know Thor's joined the Guardians of the Galaxy, and he'll be out gallivanting and hopefully running into Adam Warlock. I did a video that I'll link at the end of this earlier last week that explained Thor had to join the Guardians of the Galaxy. If they're going to run into Adam Warlock, he's going to be so powerful, they're going to need Thor on the team. And it's unforeseen what major event any of these movies are going to lead to. Kevin Feige and Marvel Studios are now on record as saying they're probably not going to do one huge 10-year event, but rather some small mini arcs in 3 to 6 movies. Whatever they're going to lead to as the crossover, whatever is that next big event, is probably an amazing place to bring the Hulk back in. Now, whether that's Thor 4 or some sort of culmination event between what happens with Doctor Strange and the Black Panther movie involving Namor, could it be an Illuminati event? Who knows? But wherever they bring back this major next thing is probably the time and place that they're going to reintroduce the Hulk, and this is when they have an opportunity to make good on the fan want for Hulk to reach one of his highest power levels, namely Worldbreaker Hulk. Now, they've gone ahead and laid all of the groundwork to do crazy things in these films. Up until Avengers Endgame, they were all pretty calm and realistic. Of course, we could do a whole video on why realism is so important in the MCU. It all started actually over in DC with the Dark Knight trilogy. He took Batman and placed him in the most realistic situations ever. That kicked off this entire run of superhero movies that are grounded in realism. And like I said, up until this Avengers Endgame film, the Avengers films went a long way in doing that. Like Game of Thrones, started off completely realistic, no magic, no dragons, and well, it's no coincidence I used that example because the MCU is going to see their very first dragon in Fin Fang Foom, probably in the Shang-Chi movie or somewhere during the 4th phase, as well as we've already seen magic. It's getting more fantastic by the minute, and now as they press into this cosmic universe and we're on the precipice of introducing things like Galactus, the Silver Surfer, possibly the Living Tribunal, and the Power Cosmic, I think it's no reach at all that we could see Worldbreaker Hulk in some capacity. Now, I've outlined reasons why Worldbreaker Hulk, like a Quicksilver or any other OP character like Captain Marvel, presents a problem, because if you have a character that can just wipe out everybody because they're that powerful, then what else is everybody doing? But of course, not every movie will be Avengers Endgame. Not every movie will have to do service to a decade worth of arcs in every character, so there is one more opportunity for Hulk to redeem himself. We know contractually he's obligated to do it, and that Marvel is going to want to do it given the popularity of the Hulk. And if they're listening to the fans and they've heard what we've all said about the introduction of Professor Hulk and how it just isn't the iteration of the character we really wanted to see, how he was a complete no-show from both Infinity War's battle and Endgame's battle, and for us that simply doesn't work, then there's a chance they're going to ramp him in to one of his highest power levels and finally pay this off for all the fans. Listen guys, Marvel Studios do movies for the people, and I'm sure they've heard everything we've had to say, so I would definitely hold out hope that the next time we see Hulk in any sort of major event, we're definitely going to see him go off. It's been far too long at this point. Now, I've seen a lot of you asking about this Hulk deleted scene people have been posting about the last couple of days. It's actually more of like a Hulk alternate scene or a reshoot based on the information that we got during an interview. What happened was Hulk was always on his way to the Sanctum Sanctorum. As I've enumerated in many other videos, it had to be him to meet the Ancient One for the same reason that he took the role of the Silver Surfer in Infinity War, crashing through the Sanctum Sanctorum roof to meet Doctor Strange. It had to be Hulk, but in the scene where he interacts with the Ancient One and she turns him into his astral form, they didn't really outline the specifics of the butterfly effect and what happens with the Infinity Stones, removing them and replacing them. This was a reshoot they went back and did to make sure that they laid the groundwork for us, the viewers, to at least have a little understanding of what was going on and not leave it completely ambiguous. What I think was most interesting about this information was that Marcus and McFeely and the Russos gave completely different answers when asked about this specific scene and how the butterfly effect doesn't or does affect the Avengers Endgame timelines. They actually gave different answers. If they went ahead and did reshoots to make sure that they were explaining this properly, I thought that at least the writers and the directors, we're talking about 4 people here that are right at the top of this movie, would all be on the same page. But the Russos seem to imply something different than the writers. The writers seem to say that the Infinity Stones themselves are what really affect the butterfly effect, that other small changes don't go and change the future that already exists or even seem to create these branch realities, but the absence of an Infinity Stone where they need that to protect their timeline is what leads into these darker timelines and harsher realities. Now that doesn't seem to coincide with what the Russos said as far as every change, including Loki grabbing the Tesseract and bouncing, which, okay, that's an Infinity Stone, right? But how about the countless other interactions the Avengers had traveling through time, even Tony meeting his father? That didn't seem to create any other branch timelines. So the Infinity Stones do truly seem to hold all of the value. Like I said, that's what the writers said, but not what the directors implied. Now, with some ambiguous nature as far as time travel is concerned, considering it's a completely fictional thing at that, yeah, I know there are some theorists out there who have argued if you hit a wormhole and time's just a construct, blah, blah, blah. That's not why you're watching this video. It's definitely not why I'm doing it. The point being is that there has to be some ambiguous nature. We all have to suspend disbelief. Come on, guys, we're watching an Avengers movie. But again, like I said during this video, it's what's rooted in realism that matters most to us. That and getting to see the Hulk smash. So here's to any future iteration of the Hulk that we may get in Phase 4 or Phase 5 if Mark Ruffalo ends up signing his contract extension. If they want to renegotiate, he may choose to move on, but like I said earlier, I really doubt any actor would want to leave the MCU and not just stick around, as they're going to be making movies for the next decade, and no matter what you're working on, you can pepper a couple of these in here or there, no pun intended. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Do you even care about this Hulk deleted or alternate scene? Do you think that they should have left it ambiguous as it may have once been, or would that have just led to way more arguing about trying to figure out what's real? See, realism matters more than you guys think, whether you know it or not. And quickly, let's get into the giveaway stuff before I let you go. All right, we're giving away 2 PlayStation 4 Pros. One at the 400,000 subscriber mark, which will easily hit by the end of this month. Another over on my Spotify account, Allfires. It's free and easy to enter that one. If you have an account, great. If you don't, it's free to make one. Follow the link down in the description and comments below. Follow my account, Allfires, stream the song, and then screenshot that and send the screenshot to everythingalwaysYT@gmail.com. Far fewer people are going to do this than sub to the channel, so it's a great way to increase your odds of winning a PlayStation. We'll also be giving away tons of tickets to go see Spider-Man Far From Home in IMAX once they go on sale, as well as some other Avengers Endgame stuff this year. If you want to enter to win any of the stuff at the channel, it's super easy. Hit the subscribe button, then hit the notification bell, leave a like and a comment on this video, and the more videos you like and comment on, the better chance you have of winning. My name's Michael Roman. This is Everything Always. Thanks for checking out the channel, guys, and stick around. We'll be posting again real soon.